Ever wanted to travel the cosmos as a sad space cowboy? Hi, my name is Christian McKenzie, and this is Orbital Blues by Soul Muppet Publishing. With the Orbital Blues Afterburn Kickstarter up and running at this point, succeeding their Kickstarter goal by leaps and bounds. I'm talking like it was 18,000, and then they hit that in 4 hours, and now it's at, last time I checked, $84,000. I thought it would be cool to show you how to make your very own super sad special space cowboy. But first, what is Orbital Blues? Imagine if the worlds and aesthetics of Cowboy Bebop, Firefly, Outlaw Star, Guardians of the Galaxy all mixed with the vibes of 1950s typography and 1970s music, and you played an intergalactic outlaw just trying to survive in a galaxy driven by your next paycheck. Sound interested? Then let's build us a sad space cowboy. As always, we start with a character sheet, just to get a feel for what we're going to be writing on for the next couple minutes. And unlike a lot of other character sheets out there, this one is definitely more on the simpler side, as this game focuses more on the story elements than the numerical ones. As always, let's start with the name. Wait a minute. There's already a name on there. And it looks very familiar. Let's go with that name. Yeah, let's go with that. I like that. But you know what? No. We're going to go for a little bit extra. His name may be Tristan Meadows. But we're going to call him Grizzly. That will be his call sign. I like that. That's a good combination. Orbital Blues uses a 2d6 system, much like a Powered by the Apocalypse game, and only has you worrying about 3 simple stats. Those 3 stats are your muscle, your grit, and your savvy. Explained on pages 11 to 12 in the physical copy, and 14 and 15 in the PDF. Muscle is how strong your character is physically, how fit they are, how hard they can hit something. Think strength in D&D. Grit is how much pain your character can take, how long he can hold out during an arduous task, or how long he can keep a straight face in a good game of poker. Think of this as your character's con and wisdom saving throws in a kind of weird mix. Savvy is how fast your character is, both mentally and physically. How fast can you pull out your gun? How fast can you tell a good lie? Or a bad one? Think of it like D&D's dexterity and charisma all mixed up into one. Now how the game explains it is that one stat gets a +2, one stat gets a +1, and the last stat gets a +0. For Tristan, let's make the fastest level 1 in the frontier. So Savvy, we get our +2. We want him to be able to take a punch in a depressive episode if possible. So +1 to grit. And since we prioritize the speed of his trigger finger and not the strength of his punch, that means our strength will get a +0. So if we zoom in to the top right, we have our 3 stats: muscle, grit, and savvy. 2, 0, 1. Could have done that easier, but we've done it. Those are our 3 stats. Those are the only numbers you really have to worry about on this character sheet. Next, we have your character class. But in Orbital Blues, it's not a class. It's your role in the crew. Found on page 15 to 16 of the physical copy and 18 to 19 in the PDF is this splash page of titles. But instead of each title giving you a special ability or talent or stat boost, you get to decide what your title means story-wise. Your backstory, how you act, your role on the crew. Your title is yours to construct. For Tristan, let's go a little dark, and we're going to give him the Survivor title. And we'll put that right here on the character sheet, right where we put everything else so far. Next is your Heart and Blues. found on page 17 of the physical copy and 20 on the PDF. Heart is your character's HP. It's determined by adding your muscle plus 8. So for Tristan, since he has a plus 0 in muscle, he just has a straight 8. Blues. Whenever something bad happens to you, it's the stress and turmoil of being a space cowboy. A stress-o-meter, a way to gauge just how deep in the shit you are mentally. In game terms, it's kind of like your experience, your XP. These often relate to your character's troubles, but anything that saddens them deeply, you have to roll what is known as a blues check, which you can find in the rules on page 55 of the physical copy and 58 of the PDF. Once you gain 8 blues, once per arc, you can activate something known as Trouble is Brewing, which allows you to do several things, but it essentially helps turn your theme music on and makes you more badass in the moment. Because this is a starting character, a level 1 character, we don't have blues yet, so we will mark down that we have 0 blues and wait for all the troubles to come our way. In order to gain blues, however, you need troubles and the gambits that come with them. Found on page 39 of the physical copy and 42 of the PDF, troubles are attached to your character's backstory. They are your character's lingering vices, their histories, what causes them to behave the way that they do. Whenever one of these questions is asked in some way or form, you gain 1 blues. Whenever your character does an action that's listed under that trouble, you also gain 1 blues. For Tristan, I like the idea of having him have some kind of grudge in space. A target that got away and he's been searching for ever since. So we're gonna go with best served cold. They crossed you and they'll regret it. So we will put that trouble and its detail right here on the character sheet. Easy. Okay? Boom, boom. And personally, most likely during your session 0 with the people you're playing with, or your storyteller, or GM, or man on the radio, whatever the title you give them, you'll have to answer 2 of these questions and do the rest in secret from the players. Gambits, starting on page 33 of the physical copy and 36 in the PDF, are the talents, tricks, and assets you can pull from to get the job done. Think of these as your special abilities that you can access at any time when it can be useful. Every character starts out with 1 gambit, but can gain more gambits if they gain more troubles. Since he's the captain of this imaginary crew, why not give him the gambit of the captain? You lead your crew through thick and thin, and they'll always trust you. Once per scene, you can order one of your crew to do something. They roll this with upper hand on that check. Tell the other characters how you ended up in charge or why you think you are. We'll shorten that and put that right here on the character sheet, right next to the trouble section. You have the gambit section. Next we have your equipment. Besides the clothes on your back, everyone starts out with 3 things: a weapon, a memento, and crew equipment. Your weapon can either be melee or ranged. Every weapon has its own special tags attached to it that change the way you carry it. Further explanations of weapons can be found on page 73 to 80 in the physical copy, or 76 to 83 in the PDF. Your memento is a small trinket. It's a reminder of your past life, a keepsake, something that you keep that you can't throw away. It can be as complex as a photograph or as simple as a pair of shoes. Finally, we have crew equipment. It's something that doesn't just benefit you, it benefits everyone of your crew for certain jobs and certain tasks. Crew equipment includes things like warrant scanners, like if you're bounty hunting and you're looking for your target, this can easily help you do that. There are things like good quality spacesuits for if you need to go into places without oxygen. And there are even like hollow drones, which can help you navigate the stars or an asteroid system or away from trouble. These are all different kinds of things you can get with your crew equipment. Everyone gets one piece of crew equipment. Further explanations of crew equipment can be found on page 97 to 112 in the physical copy, and that means it's on 101 to 115 in the PDF. For our weapon, since Tristan is a good old-fashioned rootin' tootin' gunslinger, we're choosing the revolver, single action, which has the tags personal and intimidating. For our memento, we're gonna go with a former crew patch, one he left. One that left him, he'll never tell. And lastly, our crew equipment is going to be a warrant scanner, integrated, which means it's integrated into our ship. Since a semi-solid income job is catching bail jumpers and sleazebags across the frontier, this crew equipment makes the most sense. Lastly, you have your soundtrack, found on page 27 of the physical copy and page 30 of the PDF. It's the song that will play once trouble is brewing, or for your swan song. Now, there's no place to put this on your sheet, so be sure to mark it down somewhere in your backstory notes, wherever that is for you. Once you have all these things figured out, either by yourself or with the rest of your crew, you officially have your own sad space cowboy, and you can start your adventures across the frontier. I hope this video was able to help guide you through step by step, and if you did, please leave a like, and if you have questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. And please be sure to support the Kickstarter for Orbital Blues Afterburn for the pre-made adventures, more ship customization, and much more. I'm Christian McKenzie. Never forget, you live in a galaxy where you live credit to credit, job to job, a song for every occasion. And these are your Orbital Blues. See you next time.